All right, now I got to ask this. All right, you mentioned affordable housing, and you also mentioned Section 8. All right, now this is definitely from a lot of the people who are listening right now to the show or who's going to listen to the playback later. Explain what actually Section 8 housing is to people and who can qualify.
So Section 8, it's all in one big bubble. Affordable housing, that kind of falls under the umbrella of, Section 8 falls under the umbrella of affordable housing. Section 8, you have a voucher, and you're saying, hey, I have this voucher, somebody is willing to help me pay for my rent, and you can take that voucher and you can transfer anywhere throughout the country with this particular voucher. Now, affordable housing also goes down to tax credit, project-based vouchers, things of that nature. And with those particular vouchers, you cannot move anywhere. You're still getting the same assistance.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. Now,
so one you can transfer and leave and move, one you cannot.
Okay. All right, now, this is one of the questions I'm sure a lot of people want to know. Is Section 8 housing, is Section 8 housing usually available for men? Or is it something that's mainly for women?
No, it doesn't even matter. Male, female, it doesn't matter at all. They just want to make sure that you're actually needing the assistance. If you fall in between the low income bracket, then yeah, absolutely apply. And there's a chance that you'll get on. The problem is just that the wait list is so long, and a lot of these wait lists throughout the country are closed. So, but with that being said, I'll throw out a little tip. They do have emergency vouchers for people out here, and that's very, very specific and detailed. So you have to be in need, like super in need, and some of the requirements are you have to have children to go along with that. If you're in a super abusive situation, if you're in a shelter for battered women or men, then they'll be able to help you with housing, and that's only possibly, okay? So, yeah.
All right, so can you be married and get Section 8?
Yeah, you can be married. You just have to, the rule of thumb is just to make sure that, or not make sure, I hate to say it or whatever, but if you fall in that low income bracket, so a lot of times that means if you are making less than the median income, the area median income, if you're making less than an amount, then absolutely you can apply even if you are married. But they are going to look at both you and the spouse. They're going to look at your income, and then they'll go ahead and move forward according to that.
Okay. All right. Now, there's
some other things that go along with that as well, though. Mm-hmm.
Are the rules pretty much the same across the board, or are they different from state to state?
Yes and no. And I'll say that because, for the most part, like the basics such as income, background checks, things of that nature, that's going to be straight across the board. But then here in California, it's a little bit more liberal. And what I mean by that is, I worked at this affordable housing community before, and even if one does not have a birth certificate or, a state ID, things of those natures, you still would be able to apply and get approved and reside in that community. Versus in St. Louis, they were just denying people, no, you have to have, this government issue ID, you have to have this birth certificate, you have to have these things in order to apply and for you to get approved. So there may be small little things, or to some people it may be big. There'd be little things that will maybe count against you. It's just very important to go ahead and talk to your city about it or talk to your state, because there's different rules across the municipalities and across the state, everywhere. So just do your research.
Okay, now let's talk about Vibrant Leasing. First of all, when did you launch your company, Vibrant Leasing?
Officially 2016. Very proud. But this has been an ongoing process. Actually, I started just the whole idea came about in 2011. I'll never forget that year. And, but I was teaching people individually first, family members, friends, co-workers, their friends and family members, things of that nature. And then finally, I wrote my book. I got a lot of things down packed, and 2016 is when I decided to launch it.
Okay, all right, hold on. You wrote a book. What was the book? And is the book still available for those people checking out the show?
It is, but it's only for those who are taking the course. It's a coursework book.
Okay.
So it's an interactive book. So it deals with just a lot of the things that covers residential communities, period, and what to do, how to do it. So it's almost like a step-by-step, and then just different information and kind of just test your mind. So it's all integrated also into my coursework online, because I have students log in online, and then they'll also have this book that's just an extra resource for them.
Okay. All right, so you started out helping people, teaching family members, and that sort of thing. What made you decide to, you know what, I'm going to make this an actual company and teach people how to lease and the things they need to know? What made you move forward in 2016 to make it full circle?
Well, it was two things. The first thing was I just felt like in my line of work, I feel like it's just very exclusive, and I feel like the public really doesn't know enough about it. My community, they may know about becoming a CNA or, being a hairstylist or whatever the case is. And please don't get it twisted. There's nothing wrong with that, because I love going to go get my hair done. But I'm just saying, I wanted to add a little bit more variety, and specifically for, those who are in high school. I was hearing a lot of young ladies, young men, hey, well, when I graduate, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to become a CNA. I'm going to do this and do that. Well, hold up. Why don't you go ahead and look on this side? Because if you're looking at the real estate side, specifically property management, that's your way to work up to become the real estate agent or a broker or whatever you want to do. And plus, you'll be getting paid a little bit more. There's bonuses, commission, and a lot of things that's involved in that. So that's the first thing. The second thing was, the owner team. It's a funny story. The owner who I used to work for, he came in the leasing office one day. And everybody was lined up, me and my co-workers and stuff, basically. He was going around shaking everybody's hand. Hey, how you doing? And he seen one particular lady there. And his eyes just, lit up like a little kid. Hey, what's going on? And he was just like shaking her hand and everything. And it was a different response to her. So I kind of looked and I peeped it. I'm like, hold up. Like, why so much love for her? You didn't give us the same energy, So, and it wasn't like no jealousy, no hater or anything like that. I wanted to know why. Because again, I really, really enjoy what I do. So I need the same response that she's getting. If I can get the same response from my owner, the owner of this property management company, then I know I'm owning something. So I kind of just sat back and studied her. And they called her the cleaner. That's what she was. And basically, the property manager who was there at the time, she wasn't performing well. The property was kind of sinking, So she came there to release her, basically, and she took over, handle her business. So bottom line is just that when you're making money for people and you're doing it in a smooth and fashionable manner, in a respectful manner, the owner's going to like you. So I learned a lot from that experience alone. And that was another thing that was just like, okay, so my problem was just that I wasn't trained properly. I was getting kibbles and bits here and there.
Okay, all right. How long did it take you to realize why she got that type of response?
Oh, just weeks. I'm nosy. I like to know some stuff. It didn't take me long at all. Especially at this time, it was a market rate property. So I switched from affordable housing to this market rate community. And it was really simple, easy. And then it was a small community also. So we only had about maybe 70 apartment homes there. So that gave us a little bit more time for us to get more personal so that I can ask the questions and, get the answers that I'm looking for.
Okay. All right.